Frankie, let's start with you. There was not really much for, an hour in that game. First half, even if Spain had a lot of the ball, was quite close, really. He opened up very much once Theo Hernandez missed that big chance, Oyarzabal scored the goal. What did you make of that performance overall of that game?
Well, hi. First, hi to everyone. I think I was quite disappointed, like I was during the semi-final for an hour. Like I found, and we talked on that on the ESPN FC show, you quite liked the performance of France the first hour, and the semi-final I was pretty disappointed because when they want to wake up and they want to play their football, you see the huge difference they can make against any opponent. It worked against Belgium. It worked yesterday against Spain as well, where suddenly when those players, the main players, Benzema, Mbappe, start playing their football, and we'll put Pogba as well, Hernandez as well, when they start playing their football, there is no way they can lose a game. And this what happened again during that final, where they needed to concede a goal to wake up and then to show their strength. So it's in a way comforting my thought about that team, which I think is one of the best teams in the world, who can beat anybody, but they need a little something, to wake up, and it can be tricky in the future if they carry on like that, because one day they couldn't find the solution. So they have to be a little bit more professional, I would say, because we know that they are so talented that they can do the difference.
Do you not think, though, with that game, Spain want to control the game through possession? This is whether you're seeing Spain under 10s or like Spain first team. That's just how they play. Yeah. So for France, do you think they could have been more front foot in that first 60 minutes? But to be honest, the thing that I like about France, and it's possibly the question you've got to ask, are they better when the game becomes more open? Because then you have more space for those people up front and so on. Because, like I say, with Spain, how many teams are going to play against Spain and not appear passive? But it's not because they are passive. It's because that's what Spain do. And when you looked at it, before that first goal was scored, I think Spain only had 3 shots on goal. So although France weren't, say, at their imperious best, they kind of limited Spain, did they not? Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, for me, this was vintage France 2018. The way they won the World Cup. Same. You don't have the ball, you don't care, you give them the ball, but then you control the defensive spaces so well and you play quick transition football, like the Mbappe goal, Benzema in a way as well, like they did in the second half against Belgium, like Frankie was saying. I've got no issue with it, but I can see why people, and Frank and I have discussed it many times, maybe with those players, they should be playing better football. And maybe you put Pep Guardiola on that bench or Jurgen Klopp, and this French team plays much better football, are more proactive than reactive, like they've been really the last few months. And maybe it's a different team. Would they win? I'm not sure. But could they play better? I think they could, in a way.
Frankie, what do you think?
Yes, I totally agree with that. But I warned Didier before the Euro, through the television and then our show. So I'm not sure he listened to us, which is a shame for him.
I'm sure he does.
But I said, in 2002 when we went to the World Cup, it was a disaster because the coach kept some players like myself, and I have to be truthful about that. We were maybe too old. Or want too many things to be challenged another time, and I said to on television that Didier should maybe get rid of some players who are not competitive anymore to go to another World Cup, to the Euro before, to another World Cup. I'm very questioning the talent right now of Griezmann, like I'm questioning the talent of Varane. We could have said the same about Lloris, the first game, the semi-final, but he played a fantastic game yesterday and saved, so I guess he's still there. But the two others, I'm sorry, there are some questions. Pogba showed to the world that he's very important to the national team. He did the job, semi-final, final, fantastic player. Benzema came back and does the job every time, even if it's only half an hour, it's good enough for him and for us. But Griezmann, I think he should, maybe not even call him. Just for him to go back to Atletico and to get back to his own confidence, because his performances are not good enough right now. And that's my main concern, because he wants to put Griezmann as a leader, where there are other leaders, and maybe at certain point could put some troubles into the squad.
We'll talk about Griezmann in a bit in our podcast bit. The big controversy, of course, in the final is the winning goal from Mbappe. And if you haven't watched it, it's a through ball from Theo Hernandez. Mbappe is offside, just behind Eric Garcia. But Eric Garcia attempts to goes to play the ball, touches a little bit the ball, which means that Mbappe didn't become onside again. And then he finishes, and that's why the goal was given. As you two, as former defenders, if you're Eric Garcia, did he do the right thing? Does he have to go for the ball, or can he just let the ball roll and Mbappe is offside and then the referee gives it and it's no goal?
For me, it 100% has to play for the ball. He has to do it because he's sensing that danger, which is why he tried to play for the ball. He's tried to stop it. But I've suffered from this rule before, and it's very, very strange to get your mind around because I think in times gone by, say if there was no video, the linesman will see the player play the ball through and they'll see a player that's standing offside. And the linesman won't wait to see if the defender tries to play it or touch it. He'll put his flag up. And more often than not, they won't then have a conversation with the referee to see, well, did this happen or did that happen? It's usually just offside. But I think it's a very, very tough thing as a defender to be able to deal with because you are reacting based on the things that are around you. And you can never sense 100% that somebody is onside or offside. And you have to play to the whistle. So even if you think more maybe, you have to take it seriously. And I would say as well, the big thing for me with this law, if somebody's standing in an offside position and a shot comes towards goal and they say it affected the goalkeeper's side, they'll take the goal away. The only reason that he played for the ball the way that he did is because there was somebody affecting him and that guy happened to be offside.
Exactly.
So how can the two things be so different when with the defender and the goalkeeper we are reacting to it? But I don't know. What do you think, Frank?
Because I think Nedum puts it perfectly well. The law is wrong, the rule is wrong because the only way Garcia goes for the ball and plays that ball is because there's the threat of Mbappe. But because Mbappe was offside from the beginning, this should not have gone against Spain, if you see what I mean.
I completely agree with you, especially because he can't analyze, all the situation in that amount of time. Especially Mbappe is behind Garcia, is behind him, so he cannot know exactly if he's offside or not. And in fact, we normally judge an offside on the kick from a partner, which is Hernandez at the time. So Garcia is in fact at the termination of the pass. It's not at the beginning of the pass. So it would have been Garcia who wants to give the ball to the goalkeeper. You can understand easily that it's not an offside. But there, you normally say Mbappe is offside when the ball gets out of Hernandez's boots. He's offside. So why do you go there and say, okay, but Garcia touched the ball, so therefore he puts Mbappe back to the game? No, it's impossible. It doesn't work like that. It's not our football. When you're a defender, you go for it, and you don't think, well, if I touch the ball, the guy will be not offside because he's going to go back to the game. If I don't touch the ball, he's going to be offside. That's insane. That's insane to think that a player can analyze that in such small amount of time, that situation. You have to be a non-football player to put that rule on. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.